In this topic, we're going to give you an intro to Hitachi Command Suite, and this is for version 7. So we're just going to take a look at some of the basic functionality here on the dashboard screen. We're just going to look at the things that you need to be aware of, some of the toolbars and what they tell you. Just a real general overview. And then in our next few sessions, we'll dive deeper into each of the tabs and give you an idea of what you can do with HCS, some of the key functionality, and we'll take you a lot deeper than we are today. But in this topic, it's just simply limited to an introduction and understanding the dashboard tab and what's available to you. Let's get started. So the first part I want to point out is in the top right hand corner, our logout button, and also tells me who's logged in. Typically you want to create a new user when you first install HCS. So once you've installed it, you're going to use the system manager to log in for the first time. But one of your first tasks should be to create a custom user. And that'll keep the audit log tracking in place so that you can see which user has done what, and it's just a best practice for security. Alright, the next section we're going to discuss is the file bar here. So we've got our typical options, our close and our logout. But under the actions we have what I like to call non-specific actions. So what these are just general tasks that are fairly often used, but the thing to notice here is that they're not specific to one particular array. So if you have multiple arrays here, the wizard it's going to take you through is going to require you to pick that information. So it's going to be asking you questions via drop downs and telling you to tell it which arrays you're going to use. We're going to go into more of these sections later, but just be aware that this is sort of a non-specific, just kind of general tasks area. And then next we have the tools option. Now this is one of those things that's not really used that often, but it does have a pretty nice option here, which is the download option. So by using the download option, you can actually bring up a bunch of links for downloading the agents, the CLI interface. It even takes you to the GRE website, or you can even download the host data collector. Now this is nice because once you get HCS running, you can provision these agents pretty quickly by giving your system administrators access to HCS temporarily. They can go click the download button and they can just download and install the agents themselves on that particular server, so you don't have to take a distribution CD somewhere or host a file for them. It's already hosted for them, you just need to point them to the right place. So that's a pretty handy option. And then also it's got your tuning manager and your replication manager, any other Hitachi products that are linked here, you can click there and it'll launch tuning manager or replication manager, whichever it may be. And then there's also the help option. I wouldn't suggest really using that. It's basically the user's manual. So if you have a issue with HCS, I suggest you use the manual instead of the online help or the about. Obviously, the about will tell you the version of Command Suite you're running, so that can be helpful. But the online manual is basically taking you to the slimmed down version of the user's guide. So it's just easier, have the user's guide handy and follow that. Alright, the next section we're going to talk about is this dashboard area. So we've got just some real basic settings here. We've got the storage system alerts. You can see those here. Now we don't have any alerts in our environment. That's a good thing, of course. This will tell you any failed tasks. Here's our tier redundancy. Notice most of our stuff is empty. It's a lab environment. One of the things you should notice though is the data center utilization, the physical capacities. So that's going to tell us all the information we need to know about that particular HCS instance, how much storage is discovered into it and what's allocated, what's not. And then the top 10 consumers across this HCS instance will also tell you the server names and how much they're actually consuming. Now you can also adjust this dashboard settings here, and you can select the number of dashboard columns, remove dashboards, add ones if you would like to. Again, not something that's used very often because there's only those default dashboards available anyway, but just be aware that it is there. If you only want to see one piece there, that's something you can easily change. One of my favorite features of HCS 7 is the task information down here at the bottom. Now this updates automatically as the system is running, so this is always refreshed every couple of seconds. So you'll always get a fairly up-to-date status of your tasks here. You can click on any of these and you can see the status of the tasks. Notice in ours we don't have any in waiting or progress or failed, but we can click on the completed here and we'll be able to see our completed tasks and we can review those. But it's really nice to have that all there down at the bottom, easy to access and easy to get a quick glance of whether your task failed or is still waiting or what the status is. Now last but certainly not least is the global search function in the top right hand corner here. Now I can type in just about anything here that relates to my environment. I can type a server name, I can type in serial number, I can type in an LDEV, and it's going to go find that information. Again, it's a global search. So it's really handy for finding something really quick. It's going to go through all these sections and drop them off as it finds them. Really great for finding something really fast, getting an idea, and then it's nice because it gives you a link to that particular asset. So if you're searching for a host especially, it takes you straight to the host. You can see all the LDEVs, the worldwide names, all that stuff is right there at your fingertips. Well, that's it for this particular topic. We've covered all of the major functions of the dashboard tab. Next we're going to take a look at the resources tab so you can see some of the available options. Take a look at what we can actually do with HCS in a customer environment. Alright, hope to see you then.